video on this.
Sir. Yes, good morning, all of you. A very good morning, a Sunday, a pleasant morning to all of you. Right. Yesterday, we abruptly ended with the conversation, isn't it? So, conversation, we have discussed it as a thinking process, isn't it? It is a typical thinking process. And we also talked about conversation as a vocabulary development and also developing comprehension, isn't it? So you might have get a doubt about how this conversation helps in critical thinking skills. I said that a list of objectives I have um, discussed with you, isn't it? So how does a conversation helps in critical thinking skills, and then vocabulary development, and then think and answer, and then emotional security, and then it is a social sharing. So all these skills and objectives will take place when you introduce conversation in the typical methods which we have discussed yesterday. So now I would like to share uh, this conversation chart with you, isn't it? So here, this conversation chart is about uh, plants. Say on the first day, teacher introduces plants, familiar plants, by bringing real examples of plants. Say some 4 or 5 small plants like tomato plant, brinjal plant, coriander plant, etc., etc. And she discusses about it, the way they are being grown, what is its name, how are the leaves, and how it is. All these things the teacher will be discussing on the first day. The second day, teacher shows concrete examples or semi-concrete. So here it is a semi-concrete. Semi-concrete is nothing but pictures, picture cards, flashcards, conversation charts, all these, isn't it? So here you can ask the child by showing the picture, what are all the plants you see here? You see here. So the child may identify some of the plants he has seen already in his backyard, and so the conversation goes on. So this is the second method. Third method, giving them experiences like taking them to a nature walk, or sometimes you may take them to a child's home where there is a good backyard, and then discuss there what are all the plants, how the plants are being grown, what care is to be taken, what care the household members are taking care. All these things you can discuss during the nature walk. Or else you can provide some experiences like you can collect the fallen leaves of the very familiar plants and then make them draw the outline of the leaves and then ask them to color it, isn't it? It is also a drawing experience, and you can talk about it on the other day. So like this 3 or 4 days you can make. And another method is asking questions, asking riddles and puzzles, isn't it? Here you can see a girl is collecting flowers. For whom the girl is collecting flowers? What are all the flowers she has collected? And what will she do with the flowers? And um, and then you can see here a mother is taking all the vegetables. So where is she taking all these vegetables? She let the children answer. Some will say that the woman is taking vegetables to her home and she will cook. Some will say the woman is taking to the market and will sell the vegetables. Isn't it? Some will say that she will share with her neighborhoods. Some will say that it is for her own, isn't it? So Do you find all these flowers or plants in your home? You want to plant all these trees or plants in your home. Like this, you may extend your conversation. So, thinking and answering. So, we are not telling what the child is doing, what the woman is doing, why this man is uh, whistling. Why this man is, what will we say, Melam Udutunnadu. Why? Because there is some function in the house. He is preparing for the practice. He is practicing for the function, you can say. So like this, n number of questions you may ask children during the conversation. Finally, at the end of 15 days, you can ask the child to talk about plants in their own sentences. Suppose if we ask a question, what are the different plants you know? Come on, tell me. The child should be able to name a few plants, how it will be, what are all the vegetables that come from those plants, how are the leaves, and how are the vegetables, what is the color of the vegetables, what care should be taken. All these things the child should be able to express, communicate in a language that is clear and in full sentences. So this is our main goal and objective. So conversation as a strategy for language development, he also develops critical thinking skills and receptor skills and expressive skills. Now, moving on to the beautiful storytelling as a strategy. Now, friends, I would like to ask you, what are all the stories you have remembered in your childhood days? You make a list of it. Have you ever forgotten those stories told by your grandma, told by your grandparents, your parents, while your mother is feeding you or while your mother is pampering you? You might have heard so many bedtime stories and so many stories, isn't it? So, how does a story as a strategy in early childhood education, is there any objective of a storytelling or is it a time pass activity? This you should understand. Story, of course, it is a joyful activity for the children and they love to hear again and again the stories, isn't it? They like to get repeated the stories. They wanted to hear again and again. They will ask their grandparents to tell the same story again and again, the same song again and again. So they love those repetition of stories. They love to hear. So in early childhood education, we are introducing storytelling as a media to introduce so many skills, so many, what do you call? So many benefits are there. So we are selecting story as a medium for language development. Please remember, we are introducing storytelling as a medium for language development. So, storytelling, we will see, is a powerful and engaging teaching strategy that supports language development. How? It helps children listen intently, listen very interestingly. Whenever the child is engaged in storytelling, involved in storytelling, his listening span, span of attention increases. Listening intently it will also be increased. And then it also helps the child to imagine, think, and express his own ideas. So, story also builds vocabulary, comprehension, and communication skills. So, it also helps to learn many new words. And then comprehension, understanding, which is again a cognitive process, isn't it? Understanding whatever the characters in the story debit in the story, enact in the story, All this the child will get understand, and he relates himself to his own experiences. All this understanding again involves cognitive development and also communication skills. So when he is fascinated by the characters of the story, the child automatically responds and he will communicate with you about the role of the character of the story. So storytelling also encourages creativity and emotional connection with learning. So it encourages creativity. How does it encourage the creativity? When you yourself going on telling story, so there is only a one-way communication and it is not a two-way process, isn't it? So you yourself is going on telling the story. So where you will not give a chance for the child uh, for questioning and for expressing his ideas and emotions. So there should be an opportunity for the child to express himself. So it should be a two-way, and not the teacher herself will be going on telling a story. I will tell a story, you listen. I will tell a song, you will listen. Not that, isn't it? So yesterday in conversation, we discussed that it is an interactive process. Storytelling in the same way, it should be engaged. It should support language development, and whatever you say should make the child interesting, and he will listen into the story, and he will engulf into the characters of the story. Just like as you enjoy a cinema or a picture, where you will laugh when there is a comedy scene, where you will cry when there is a crying scene there. So you are connecting, your emotions are being connected to whatever the visuals you are seeing, isn't it? So in the same way, you have to narrate a story to the child. Ha, what exactly is storytelling? It is the art of narrating stories using voice expressions, gestures, and sometimes using properties, isn't it? So, it is the art of narrating stories. You can go back to your childhood memories where your grandma will be telling stories in a very low tone and then very emotional tone, and sometimes a loud tone, and sometimes a happy tone, depending on the characters of the story, isn't it? That is why you will be saying, inka chippu, tell again. The children will be pestering you, isn't it? So it is an art of narrating stories using your voice. This is very, very, very important as a preschool teacher. So when you talk to a child, your voice matters a lot. How are you? Yes, good morning. How are you, my child? A very good morning to you. Come, come, come. See, you can see the difference, isn't it? So it may include oral stories, picture stories, or using puppets, or you even use digital stories nowadays. Stories create meaningful context for children to understand language naturally. And sometimes we often say that there is a moral in the story. There is a moral in the story, and we should tell a moral to the story. No, please, please don't tell this is the moral in the story. Why? Why? Think. So, the moral in the story is something different, and whatever is happening outside in the society is very different. To tell you a small example, some guests, unwanted guests will be coming to your house, and the mother says to the child, beta, beta, go and tell him that Amma is not there in the house. So the child goes to him and says that Amma is not in the house. Then the child will get confused. Stories are telling that we should not tell lies. Amma sometimes will be telling that we should not tell lies. But now Amma is telling me to tell a lie. So there is a big difference. So instead of telling that this is the moral, you should do like this, no. Understanding the story itself makes them understand the moral in the story itself. Okay. So no need to specifically tell the moral of the story. So you can introduce the story through your voice, through your expressions, voice modulations, and then the high and low tones, and through your gestures, through your body language, and sometimes by using properties like flashcards and then story cards or some digital method or orally also you can tell. So learning happens through enjoyment rather than direct instruction. So storytelling should be a joyful activity, just like the child will be enjoying the story at home when her mother or grandparents tell a story at home. The same feeling they should get in the school also, right? So, what are the specific objectives of storytelling? It enhances listening skills. We are not saying it enhances listening. Listening, you will listen into one ear and it goes off into the other ear, isn't it? So here we are telling that listening skills, which means that the teacher's language while narrating the story will be captured by the child, and he uses the same phonetics, same words and the meaning of the words, and he will be putting his in his vocabulary bank. So, when the story you are narrating captures their attention, captures their joy and interest, they will involve more in a story so that their listening skills are enhanced, improved. So, where the teacher, how the teacher is spelling the word. అనగనగనగనగనగనగా ఒక పెద్ద పెద్ద అన్నది మనం we are stressing that word. Oh, the child also you expresses the word in the same way when he uses pedda. Pedda means big forest, isn't it? So, how does this enhancing, why it is important enhancing their listening skills? Always relate to their primary school and for their learning. So, as soon as they enter the primary school, grade 1 class, the child is made to sit in the first class. Each period goes for 45 minutes, and the child has to listen to the teacher intently, not just listening, intently to the teacher for 45 minutes for the whole period and learn what the teacher says. Suppose the teacher is reading a lesson, there the child should be able to listen intently so that with that auditory discrimination, how to spell a word, he will learn more correctly. So that is why these stories enhances their listening skills, expands vocabulary and sentence structure. As the teacher expresses, narrates the story, the child picks up the new words and then he uses it in a sentence later on. So thus his vocabulary development also take place. It improves comprehension and memory, understanding what is happening in the story, what will happen in the story, what happened in the story. So all these he will understand and remembers. So memory improves and then understanding comprehension also improves, develops speaking confidence. So when a child is given the opportunity to tell the story, he will narrate the story with much confidence and with much clarity. So it also encourages conversation and questioning. It also strengthens imagination, which supports expressive language. So, how does it strengthen imagination? When you go on telling, as a teacher, you go on telling a story, where is the opportunity for the child to strengthen his imagination? Yes, for this, you should give the opportunity for the child to express himself in his own way. He will, usually, you see 3 to 4 year child, when asked him to tell a story, something or the other, he will be going on telling, isn't it? నేను అక్కడ ఒక కోడి చూశాను, కోడి కుక్క, ఇట్ మే బి మీనింగ్ ఆర్ మీనింగ్లెస్, బట్ హీ విల్ బి గోయింగ్ ఆన్ డెవలపింగ్ ఎ స్టోరీ ఆన్ హిజ్ ఓన్. కుక్కని చూశాను, కోడి కుక్క ఫ్రెండ్స్, దానికి గింజలు ఇచ్చాను, దీనికి బిస్కెట్ ఇచ్చాను, సంథింగ్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్, he will be going on telling, which increases his imagination unless you give an opportunity for the child to express. సో స్టోరీస్ వలన ఇన్ని లాభాలు, ఇన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ అండ్ స్కిల్స్ ఏర్పడుతుంది. సో prospective teachers, please understand that story is not a time pass activity. It enhances listening skills. Now, before moving on to the next slide, I would like to narrate a very, very, very small story. Story in our own mother tongue. Okay? Yes. You can use both the languages. You can use. So అప్పుడే ఒక బుచ్చి కోడి పిల్ల గుడ్డు నుంచి బయటికి వచ్చింది. బయటికి వచ్చి రాగానే అది కళ్ళు, దాని చిన్ని చిన్ని కళ్ళు మెల్లగా తెరుచుకుంటుంది. తెరిచి తెరవంగానే అది వాళ్ళ అమ్మ కోసం చూస్తుంది. కానీ దానికి వాళ్ళ అమ్మ కనిపించలేదు. సో అదేం చేస్తుంది, మెల్లగా అప్పుడే నడక నేర్చుకుంది కాబట్టి చిన్నగా చిన్నగా అనుకుంటూ నడుచుకుంటూ నడుచుకుంటూ పోతూ ఉంటే దానికి అబ్బా అబ్బా, she heard a sound, Amba. So the chick went near that animal and said, "Are you my mother? Are you my mother? I did not see my mother. Please tell me, are you my mother?" Ha 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 ha. Oh dear, I'm not your mother. I am a cow. I am big. I have 4 legs. I eat grass. I am not your mother. Go, go, go. Go that side. Again, the chick went slowly, slowly forward. As she going on walking, she heard another sound. Meh, meh. The little chick went to that animal and asked, "Are you my mother? Please tell me, please." "Oh dear, you're so cute. I'm not your mother. I am a goat. I'm bigger than your mother. I eat grass and leaves. I am not your mother. I say, Ma, Ma, I'm not your mother. Please go forward." Again, the chick went slowly, thinking that her mother will be seeing soon. So as she is walking, quack, 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 quack. Oh my God, I think this is my mother. So she ran fastly towards her and asked, "Are you my mother? Please tell me. Are you my mother?" Please help me in finding my mother. Oh dear, I'm just like your mother. I have two wings, but I am not your mother. I am a duck. I say quack, 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 quack. I swim in water also, but I am not your mother. Please go forward and look. Your mother must be there, somewhere there. Go, go, please. Again the chick went. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Chick, 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 chick. Cock, 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 cock. Ah, she heard that sound. She ran quickly to her and said, Are you my mother? Oh dear, you are my dearest daughter. Come, come, you are my child. Come, come, come. She immediately went to her mother into her wings, and both are happy. So, how did you find the story? Here, I did not use any of the props, but I think I made you listen for interestingly for a few minutes, isn't it? So, in between, you can ask the questions in between, create curiosity by not telling it went to goat, it went to cow. No, introduce some interesting sounds to the child, which will capture, isn't it? So that rhythmic sounds and rhythm, everything children like very much. Here, we are not making the child memorize the story by rote learning. Once upon a time, there was a small chick. It came out of the egg. It came out of the egg. He forgot the story next. No. So, by repeating the story so many times, the child will be able to grasp the story, isn't it? So, this enhances the listening skills by using voice modulations and then body language. Your body should be, you should become a chick while using without any properties. Your body, you have to be a chick and walk like a chick and make the sound of a chick. So you should not constrain yourself to one place only. So like this, it strengthens their imagination and it also supports the expressive language. Yes. Now, story is a powerful tool in meeting the developmental needs of the child. It facilitates learning in children and helps the teacher in observing children, hence to be carefully planned and used. So, stories helps in learning language, develops reasoning, problem solving, sequential thinking, and it provides vent to emotions. How is that possible? What is that vent to emotions? So, story, there are many techniques of storytelling. Yes. And then it also provides entertainment and exposure to culture and values. So many skills have been developed. You can see, isn't it? So let us now relate these objectives to the techniques of storytelling. So one is that listening skills that we have already seen. So the first, listening and attention span, and then vocabulary and pronunciation, understanding of the sequence. This is very, very important skill. Friends, please remember this. Stories develop sequential thinking in children. How? So, they have to identify the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, the end of the story, so that the story goes in a sequence. Okay? Yes. Yes. Now, The story, yes, you have to, when you ask the child after listening to the story in many ways, finally you will ask the child to narrate the story, isn't it? So, there the child should be able to narrate the story in his own sentences, expressing, and then in a sequence, okay. So, understanding that sequence is very, very important. So, this sequential skill through story development helps in later learning. Like when they apply in algebra, when you go step by step only, you arrive at the answer, isn't it? And in science experiments also, you go in a sequence so that you arrive at the final product, isn't it? So that is why through stories, we can make the children develop that sequential skill. So, to encourage children to retell stories in their own words, which is very, very important. And then to stimulate imagination and creative thinking. How does this happen? So, um, and then to foster social and emotional understanding. And then now coming to the important point. So it is not enough if you introduce a story in only one way, just making them listen. I am telling the story, you just listen to the story. No, that is not. Okay. So there are many, many, many techniques of storytelling. So you, by using voice modulations, facial expressions, gestures, and then also, next by using semi-concrete method by showing flashcards, story cards, story books, and then next is enacting the story. And then, so yes, here you can see. First, you can introduce the story with voice modulations and expressions. and then repeating the same story using flashcards, storybooks, uh, or some puppets, etc., etc., and then role playing of the characters with actions and emotions. So this is very, very important. So during role play, please make a note of it. All children will become the characters of the story. For example, in this story which I have narrated just now, the story of the chick. So the teacher in this method, the teacher will be uh, narrating the story in very briefly, because already the children are familiar with the story by voice modulations they have heard, and then by visuals they have also learned. So by the end of third day or fourth day, you can make use of this technique, role playing, which the children will enjoy very, very much. So here the teacher introduces the story in a very brief manner, and then she will enact wherever it is possible. Like suppose a beautiful small chick came out of the egg and it slowly opened its eyes. So this the teacher may enact and ask all the children to enact like a chick that is coming out of the egg. Okay. Next, the chick slowly walked. How does the chick walk? The teacher enacts and makes all the children enact like a chick walking slowly. Next, it is a cow, isn't it? So how does a cow sounds? All the children will make a sound of the cow and then the action of the cow eating grass. So, like that, the characters of the story will be enacted by all the children along with the teacher, and let them enact in their own way. They need not copy the teacher. Okay. So, while doing that role playing, definitely without knowingly, all the emotions that were hidden in them will come out in a healthy way. This is the meaning of emotional development. All the negative emotions, happy emotions are being outletted in a healthy way. Please note this point. So, while enacting the characters, the children enjoy themselves, involve themselves in the characters, and role play them along with the teacher. And that is how the inner emotions are being outlet. Next technique is dramatization. So, dramatization and role playing. For role playing, you have to make the children stand in rows from small to big with hand distance, and you should stand in front of them, and you, along with the children, should be able to do the role play. So, dramatization, where you will pick up the elder children and give them the characters. One will be the chick, one will be the cow, one will be the goat, another one will be the mother hen, isn't it? So there they will enact with their own dialogues, expressions, and this is how a dramatization takes place. And you can give other children the next chance to participate in the drama. Okay, so that is the big difference between role playing and dramatization. So both are help in imagination, and then emotional outlet, and then vocabulary development. They will narrate their dialogues in their own way, creating so many words and imagination in that dialogues. So next is narrating the story in sequential order, children arranging the cards in sequence. When you have flashcards, you can ask the children to sit in front of you, and you will place the cards haphazardly, not irregularly, in front of the children. You will initiate the story by starting the story. So once upon a time, there was a chick. What happened to the chick? Then the child will take the lead, pick up the first card among the story and places it in front of him. And next child will be telling the next sequence of the story. The next child will also be picking up the sequence and then keeping by the side of the first card. Like this, the cards will be arranged in a sequence. The children will be narrating the story in a sequence. In case you don't have flashcards for the story, you can ask the child. Uh, the first child will be starting with the beginning of the story. Next, what happened? Next. Like that, you can make the children complete the story in a sequence. So the next technique is encouraging children to tell the story in their own words. So it is encouraging children to tell the story in their own words. Finally, because first technique, they heard the story with voice modulations and expressions. Next, the story is same story is being repeated using flashcards or a storybook or story cards. Next, the same story is being role played by all. Next, the same story is being dramatized. Next, the story is being narrated using the cards and arranging them in a sequence. Next, the children are being encouraged to tell in their own words. Next, the encouraging children to answer questions on what and why, problem solving, sequence, reasoning, etc. So this is the last part is very, very important. We said that in the objectives, it helps in problem solving. So, which means that it helps in the life skills of the child, personality development of the child. So, it is not that crying is the solution. So, here you can ask, what happened in the story for the children? Yes, the chick did not see its mother. So, it went in search of its mother, isn't it? So, that is the problem. So, in the same way, you can question the child, like, suppose if you don't see your mother at home after coming from school, what do? You cry? No, crying is not the solution. You ask each child what is the solution, and you will get n number of answers from the question. One will say that he will go and sit in the neighborhood. Another child will say that he will sit in front of the house and wait for the mother to come. Another will say, I will I will ask neighborhood's phone and I will talk to my mother on phone and ask her to come home early. So there are n number of solutions for one problem. So you can pose a problem question for the child so that you can receive n number of answers from the children. And please remember that there is never ever a wrong answer from the child. As per his experiences, he will come out with his answers. So here we are laying the seed for thinking in the direction of a solution and not as problem. Understood? So this is how stories build on developing problem solving. Oh, my mother is not at home. What will I do now? I should not cry. What will I do? I'll call a police. Someone said that I will call 108. So many answers you will get from the children, which you never expect or never imagine. So that is the beauty of the activities in early childhood education. So this is how you lay a seed for personality development, for life skills, for language development, for a good habit formation, and for good listening skills. Everything, all these strategies beautifully mold the child, nurture the child for formal school learning. So storytelling is not a time pass activity, nor a very normal routine activity. There is so much science and technicalities in it. So that if you employ all these strategies of whatever I said now, then only you will reach the objectives which we have discussed, isn't it? Intently listening, vocabulary development. So, in this little chick story, you can you learn so many words. Chick, cow, amba, sound of a cow. It went slowly. So all these they will catch and learn beautifully, isn't it? So sequential development they will learn, and then narrating in their own words. Okay, that is expressive skills. And then um, what what happened in the story, why it happened, why the chick did not find its mother. Open-ended questions, yesterday I told you, isn't it? That open-ended questions you should learn how to use, when to use, what to use, where to use. So this is how a story should go on. So yes, picture walk, discuss images before reading. So just as you introduce the story, don't go just directly into the story. Suppose you are using some pictures or flashcards in the story, you can discuss before going into the story. You need not reveal the story is what about, but just discuss what are all there in the story. Okay, you can use puppets and props, you can do role play and some sound effects, story mapping, and then open-ended questions. This makes the story an interactive storytelling one. Okay. Yes. So, what is the role of the teacher? I said that you have to capture their interest, you have to use voice modulations, and then for every strategy, the organization of children is very, very, very important. For a conversation and for a storytelling session, you need to make the children sit in a semicircle so that you and children, you have an eye contact with the child. You will be sitting in a low level table and you will be narrating the story. So selection of stories also very, very important. Select age appropriate and culturally relevant stories. Culture makes a very big difference, isn't it? So sitting here in India and in Hyderabad, I cannot recite or narrate stories that are relevant to other countries, isn't it? Something like Barbie and other foreign characters. I cannot make you please, isn't it? So it should be culturally relevant. And then prepare before narration for smooth delivery. This practice and planning is very, very, very important. And then create a warm, distraction free stories telling space. Suppose you have some inhibitions, someone may come and see my classroom. Oh, my principal will come and see, and he will say something, some inhibitions will be there. If that is the case, please close the door of your classroom and you practice yourself and you narrate the story to your children. And then model correct pronunciation and expressive language. This is very, very important. So, in the story which I have told you, I have used please, but that is not written in the story, isn't it? So I made it because so that children will learn automatically. Please, when you are asking something for a help from someone, you should ask please, isn't it? In a pleasing tone. So model correct pronunciation and expressive language. Encourage participation without forcing children. Connect stories with children's real life experiences. Yes. Till now, we have said that the conversation helps in language development, stories help in language development. So, how do you introduce new words and explain them with actions or visuals? So, when you are introducing new word, suppose in the story of Koti Mullu, uh, Thorn is there, no? So, Mullu, you are saying. So mullu, they don't know how to spell it. So you can show a picture, repeat the word many times, and then with action, how it is, and then through the visuals, you can show. Repeat and expand children's responses. Suppose you asked a question, where is the monkey? Tree. The child will say, don't stop there. So, can you tell on which tree the monkey is? Come on, tell me, tell me. Do the tree has some thorns on it? Did you observe that? Did I tell you that the tree has some thorns? Like that, you have to expand their responses and then ask why and how questions to deepen language use. Support shy children gently. This is also the role of the teacher. It is always, we see that whoever the child is active and expressive, we question them only and they will give the answers only. You will listen to that child only. But that is not the case. Give equal opportunities to all the children to promote inclusion. Even children with different abilities. You ask the questions and involve in the story. For example, when the child is hard of hearing, you make the child sit right in front of you so that he can hear or feel your vibrations of the mouth, isn't it? So all this you take into consideration while telling a story. Promote peer conversations about the story. So the story, this story, you can tell for one story for 15 days. What is that? You're telling it is a for 15 days? Yes, definitely for 2 weeks you can introduce one story with 7 different techniques I have introduced. So whatever the technique children liked most, you can use 2 times or 3 times or more. So like that, you have to make the story for 15 days and final day, you can make a discussion. Children, what character did you like in the story the most? Why? Why did you like that character? You want to be like that? So like this, pose questions, encourage questions for discussion among the peer. So this, and then in the start with simple short stories for children. So you have to remember one thing. The story should not be too short. It should not be too long also. Too short. Katte kotte teche Ramayanamanta, we make them tell in 3 words. Katte kotte teche. It's not that. And then it should not be too long so that it becomes boring for the children, isn't it? So remember that. And then you have to use some rhythmic and repetitive stories, some rhythmic sound, some rhythmic word you can introduce in the story to make the children more attractive and capturing their attention. You can integrate some songs and actions, link storytelling with drawing. This is another technique also. So while you are narrating the story, you can ask the children to draw on their own. It may not be a complete diagram, but to to much to their imagination and creativity, they will be going on drawing and narrating the story on their own. So one fifth day or sixth day, you can ask the child to draw the story and then narrate the story. Revisit favorite stories for reinforcement, encourage children to create their own stories. And one fine day, you ask them to create their own story. So here I would like to rhythmic sounds or something like that. I said no. Here in these are the flashcards of a story. So remember, when you are using a flashcard, you have to first, first instead of directly in introducing the topic or the name of the story, you can discuss. Children, what is that you are seeing in this picture? Oh, monkey. What is that monkey doing? Is she curious to see something from the tree? Oh, what is that she is looking on to? Oh, you can see something here. Something here. Oh, it is a coconut, isn't it? Oh, the monkey is looking at the coconut to be eaten. Its mouth is watering. Can you see that? Oh, now come on, tell me. I'm telling the story of the monkey. Are you ready to listen, children? Are you interested? Like that, you have to start. And then remember, don't spread your flashcards in front of you because children's attention will be divided. As you go on narrating the story, they will be looking at your flashcards. So this is the way, actually, correct way of holding the flashcard. And then after the first card is over, next switch on to next card. This should be kept in a sequence before only. So now what happened? You need not tell your question. This is the second method using props. So what is the monkey doing? Oh, it picked up the coconut and it starts eating now. So it has eaten all the coconut. How did it eat? How did it enjoy the coconut? Come on, tell me. You like coconut? Yes, it ate coconut. Ah, yes, it is so yummy, isn't it? So next, to develop some curiosity, it has eaten coconut, isn't it? What will happen to the monkey now? Can you imagine? Can you guess? Oh, you forgot? Let us see, let us see. Now moving on to the third card. Ah, poor monkey. What happened? A small thorn has been pricked into its tail. It is feeling so much pain. So it is crying in pain. Oh, I am in pain. Someone should help me. Someone should help me. Thinking that, she went into the village and saw a barber. A barber has some needle. So through the needle, he started removing the thorn slowly, slowly, slowly. So now that he has removed the thorn, the monkey is so happy, isn't it? So what will the monkey do now? Let us see. What happened here? Where did it go? Like this. So, as you can introduce some sounds also here. Sudi poem, gaunu vache dham dham dham. It went to a tailor. It gave the needle to him, and she took a frock. And then she was so happy to sing that song. Needle is gone, I have a gown. Needle is gone, I have a gown. La 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 la. Like that, happily she goes to another one. Who is that? What is he doing? So at the end, you can make a song. Sudi poye gaunu vache dham dham dham. Gaunu poye kunda vache dham dham dham. Kunda poye paisam vache dham dham dham. So later she went to a woman. The woman was cooking some porridge, sweet porridge. Oh, so much. It is very yummy. My mouth is watering. Oh, the old woman gave porridge to the monkey and she ate it happily. She licked all the porridge and she went away, ran into the forest, happily ever after. So that is the story. So create some suspense, create some sounds, create some rhythmic words, create some actions. All this together makes a story a beautiful interactive session for the children. So, benefits, as I already told you, it improves attention and concentration, empathy, emotional awareness, memory, early literacy. Early literacy means just now I showed you the flashcard and I have made you discuss what is there in the picture, isn't it? This is picture reading. So visually they will see, auditory they will listen to the story, audio visual association takes place, and then phonics also they will catch up, and then early literacy, that is how they learn new words, how to spell that word, everything develops. It develops imagination, creativity, it strengthens teacher child relationships, which is very, very, very important. That emotional bonding. When you sit in a chair and then children sitting on benches, no, it won't make any difference. There will be, you see this, children make the children sit in a semicircle on the floor, and then you sit in front of them in a low level table. This will make a great big difference. The emotional bonding will be there between you and the children. So this storytelling techniques, it will make your classroom a rich language environment. You can display whatever story you are telling into your classrooms, isn't it? So when the children come to the classroom in the morning or during the break